The acquisition of a loan is frequently an essential stage in the process of satisfying a variety of financial requirements, such as the purchase of a property, the funding of an educational endeavor, or the investment in a company initiative. Barclays is one of the most well-known names among the several financial organizations that provide loans. It is well known for the extensive variety of financial goods and services that it offers. On the other hand, one of the most frequently asked questions by borrowers is, how long does it take for Barclays to approve a loan? As part of this video, we look into the various elements that influence the approval timeline and share some insights into the procedure that is followed at Barclays. Before delving into the particulars of the approval timetable, it is vital to have a solid understanding of the broad procedure that Barclays uses to provide approval for loans. As is the case with the majority of financial institutions and lending organizations, Barclays uses a methodical methodology to evaluate loan applications. Typically, this procedure consists of multiple stages, which include the filing of an application, the inspection of evidence, the evaluation of credit, the underwriting process, and the final authorization. Factors influencing approval time. On the basis of a number of different criteria, the amount of time it takes for Barclays to accept a loan can vary. The following are some of the most important factors. Completeness of the application. The timetable for acceptance of the loan is heavily influenced by the degree to which the application is accurate and comprehensive. Due to the possibility that Barclays will want additional evidence or clarification, delays may occur if the information provided is either incomplete or erroneous. Creditworthiness of the applicant. Barclays determines whether or not an applicant is creditworthy by analyzing their credit history, the consistency of their income, the ratio of their debt to their income, and their overall physical and financial health. When compared to applicants with less favorable credit histories, those who have great credit profiles are more likely to acquire approvals in a shorter amount of time. The approval duration might be affected by the amount of the loan that is being sought for as well as the type of loan that is being requested. It is possible that the approval procedure for smaller loans or loans that are backed by collateral will be completed more quickly than the approval process for bigger, unsecured loans, which require a more detailed risk evaluation. Verification and paperwork. Barclays may be required to verify the information that was supplied in the loan application. This may involve verification of the applicant's income, employment history, and paperwork pertaining to assets or collateral. The approval procedure can be drawn out if there are delays in the submission of documents or verification attempts. Conditions in the market. The timetable for loan approval can also be affected by external factors such as the state of the economy, changes in regulations, and trends in the market. There is a possibility that banks will take a greater degree of prudence during times of economic instability or enhanced regulatory scrutiny, which may result in longer processing times. Internal procedures and workload. The internal procedures and workload that are carried out inside the lending department of Barclays have the potential to influence the speed at which loan applications are handled. The processing and approval of applications may be delayed if there is a high volume of applications or if there is a shortage of workers. Typical timeline for loan approval. A basic summary of the process timeline can be stated as follows, despite the fact that the specific timing for loan approval at Barclays can vary depending on the elements that were discussed above. The process starts when the applicant sends a loan application to Barclays. This is the beginning of the process. There are 3 ways to accomplish this: online, through a branch, or through a loan officer. Review of documentation. Barclays examines the documentation that has been presented to ensure that all of the necessary information has been provided and that it satisfies the requirements set forth by the bank. The creditworthiness of the applicant is evaluated by taking into consideration a number of characteristics, including their income, employment history, credit score, and the amount of debt they are now responsible for. This phase normally entails retrieving the applicant's credit record and doing an analysis of it in order to ascertain the level of risk involved. Underwriting. Once the credit evaluation is finished, the loan application is put through the underwriting process. During this process, Barclays examines the entire risk that is connected with giving credit to the applicant. Performing this step requires examining a number of different aspects and determining whether or not the applicant satisfies the loan criteria of the bank. Barclays takes a choice regarding whether or not to approve the loan application based on the underwriting evaluation. Additionally, the decision may be to deny the loan application. Notification is sent to the applicant in the event that the loan is granted, and the details of the loan, including the interest rate and the repayment schedule, are specified. The funding of the loan occurs once the loan has been approved, and the money are then transferred to the account that has been selected by the borrower. There are a number of factors that might influence the timing of funding, including the type of loan and the mode of disbursement that the borrower chooses. Factors affecting approval time. At this point, let's look deeper into some of the elements that can influence the amount of time it takes to get permission at each stage of the process. Evaluation of the application. The amount of time it takes for Barclays to evaluate the loan application is contingent upon a number of factors, including the volume of applications received, the level of complexity of the request, and the effectiveness of the bank's processing systems. There are several instances in which applications might be examined manually, which would result in lengthy processing timeframes. Credit assessment. In order to determine whether or not an applicant is creditworthy, the credit assessment procedure entails reviewing the applicant's credit report as well as their financial information. To accomplish this, it is customarily necessary to consult credit bureaus and confirm that the information that has been provided is accurate. When there are inconsistencies in the applicant's credit report or when further information is required to evaluate the applicant's creditworthiness, there is a possibility that there may be a delay. Underwriting. Underwriting is the process of determining the level of risk that is associated with giving credit to the applicant being considered. This includes evaluating aspects such as the consistency of the income, the ratio of the debt to the income, collateral, if available, and the general financial health of the individual. Differences in approval timelines can be attributed to the fact that the intricacy of the underwriting procedure might change depending on the type of loan being applied for and the applicant's current financial status. Documentation and verification. In order to validate the information that was supplied in the loan application, Barclays may request applicants to submit supporting documentation. Documents such as pay stubs, bank statements, tax returns, and other financial instruments may fall under this category. In the event that applicants fail to deliver the necessary evidence in a timely manner or if additional verification is required, there is every possibility that delays will occur. Both communication and follow-up are important in order to speed up the approval process. It is essential that Barclays and the applicant communicate well with one another. Candidates are expected to provide a fast response to any requests for further information or documents, and they should also maintain a level of awareness on the current status of their application. In the same vein, Barclays must offer updates that are both clear and timely regarding the progression of the application as well as any extra steps that are necessary for approval. Tips for faster approval. Although there are a number of factors that might affect the approval schedule at Barclays, there are a number of activities that applicants can do to speed up the process, including the following. Acquire the relevant documentation before submitting an application for a loan. It is important to acquire all of the relevant documentation, which includes proof of income identification and any other financial records that may be asked by Barclays. If you want to minimize delays in processing, you should make sure that the information that you submit is accurate and up to date. A high credit profile might boost your chances of being approved and speed up the procedure. It is important to maintain a good credit score. Make sure that you pay your payments on time, maintain a low balance on your credit card, and refrain from opening any new credit accounts before you apply for a loan. Please provide all necessary information, ensure that the loan application is filled out accurately and thoroughly, and that you provide all of the required information at the outset. Information that is either false or incomplete can cause the review process to be delayed, and it may be necessary for Barclays to do additional follow-up. Maintain your contact. Throughout the entirety of the application procedure, Barclays should be kept in constant communication. In the event that you are asked for further information or paperwork, you should promptly respond to the request and follow up on a regular basis to check on the status of your application. It is possible for the amount of time it takes for Barclays to accept a loan to change depending on a number of different circumstances. These elements include the completeness of the application, the creditworthiness of the applicant, the type of loan, and the internal procedures that are followed by the bank. Although there is no predetermined span of time for the approval of a loan, it is possible to speed up the approval process by gaining an understanding of the factors that influence the process and by adopting proactive measures. It is possible for applicants to improve their chances of receiving a loan approval in a timely manner and gain access to the cash they require in order to achieve their financial objectives if they prepare the necessary papers, maintain a strong credit score, provide complete information, and continue communication with Barclays.